All right, folks, grab your BB pods, slap on your best pair of post-apocalyptic hiking boots, and prepare to be emotionally confused for the next 20 minutes because Death Stranding 2 is here. And it's once again making us question if walking through mud while carrying a box can actually be called art. Spoiler alert, yes, it can. Kojima and his squad at Kojima Productions are back, off the leash and deep in their eccentric bag. After blowing our minds and baffling half the gaming population in 2019, they've returned with Death Stranding 2, On the Beach. This is not your average sequel. This is more like someone gave Kojima extra budget, no notes, and told him to go absolutely feral. Let's be clear, this isn't Death Stranding turned on its head. No, the core is still that same beautifully weird blend of Zen hiking simulator and dystopian FedEx chaos. But Death Stranding 2 doesn't rest on the same old cargo crates. It expands, refines, and throws in just enough surprises to keep even the most seasoned porters on their toes. It picks up months after the first game, with Sam and Lou laying low, enjoying some post-collapse peace, until Fragile frills a classic Kojima move, drops in out of nowhere, and ropes Sam into saving the world. Again, but now with time travel. Because of course there's time travel. You thought it was weird before? You ain't seen nothing. The tone, still Kojima core. That mix of emotional sincerity, cinematic drama, and absolute batshit insanity. One minute, you're crying over a dead baby, the next, you're sticking your thumb out like it's a USB drive. And somehow, it works. Gameplay-wise, it's not a full-on revolution. It's more like an evolution with steroids. More tools, more movement options, more chaos. The world's bigger and way more intense, from Mexico to Australia, with brutal terrain that makes Skyrim's mountains look like playground slides. But the real kicker, environmental hazards. Avalanches, sandstorms, wildfires, earthquakes. At some point, I started wondering if Mother Nature had a vendetta. You've got to adapt, plan, and sometimes just pray your delivery case survives the next wind gust. And yes, combat and stealth are finally stepping up. Now we've got enemy camps, patrol routes, and actual choices. Sneak past, fight your way through, or go full pacifist and climb a mountain like a hermit. Stealth is surprisingly satisfying, somewhere between Metal Gear-styled flashbacks and Ninja Fantasy. Combat? Better than the first, still not the star of the show, but hey, at least now your punches don't feel like wet noodles. Traversal is where the real upgrades shine. This time, the open world doesn't just look good, it feels alive. There's a dynamic day-night cycle, lighting that actually changes how you play, and routes that demand strategy. Suddenly, plotting your path becomes a puzzle, a fun, deadly, ankle-breaking puzzle. And let's talk about vehicles, bikes, trucks, floating robo-crates. Your ride game is on point. Combined with a massive upgrade in terrain variety, this turns Death Stranding 2 into a legit exploration powerhouse. It's still meditative, still weirdly chill, but now it's layered with risk, choice, and wild environmental shifts that make every trip unpredictable. And plus, the social Strand system is back, and better. Asynchronous multiplayer that lets players help each other out, leave behind tools, signs, ladders, ropes. It still feels revolutionary and wholesome. Who knew digital kindness could be so immersive? Narratively, oh yeah, it's a Kojima classic. Weird science, emotional baggage, celebrities playing people with names like Drawbridge or Meat Saint. You know the drill. The cast is once again full of household names doing absurd things with absolute conviction. Sam's journey now takes him through stunning, surreal new maps that feel like they were painted by a depressed genius. Visuals? Top tier. The art direction is gorgeous, the lighting is unreal, and every character's face is animated so well it almost makes you uncomfortable. In a good way. Performance-wise, the game runs smoother than a freshly paved highway. And the soundtrack, once again, hits deep. There's a mix of haunting originals, bangers from low-roar type artists, and some licensed stuff that sneaks up on you mid-delivery and punches you in the soul. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it polishes it, straps it to a hovercraft, and launches it into an existential storm of genius and madness. It's still Death Stranding, but better, deeper, smarter, and somehow even stranger. Not everyone's gonna vibe with it, but if you're the kind of gamer who enjoys a slow burn sci-fi opera, navigating a beautiful hellscape with a baby in a jar, this might just be your game of the year. So hit that like button if you've ever tripped over a rock and blamed Kojima. Drop a comment with your weirdest Death Stranding delivery moment, and subscribe to BitCrush for more brutally honest, lovingly chaotic game reviews. Because in this house, we carry ladders, cry quietly, and deliver content. BitCrush out.